Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm here to show you my orchid care routine. Not only I will explore a little bit about my watering routine and other things that I do during the week with my orchids and other houseplants. It will be like one of these short but sweet videos, I believe. Let's see in the end. And will be a nice opportunity to tell you a little bit more how I tend to my orchids, what I do, how I look after them. I hope you enjoy this type of content. If you do, stay here with me. I hope the wind is not very distracting, but let's start. I do water my orchids once a week, and I usually do it on possibly during the weekend. I tend to do it the same day, maybe on Saturday, but it varies a lot depending on how busy I am or if you will be doing things as well. I like to take my time watering my plants. I know that the way that I pot them up, I can be and just offer them a little bit of water to everybody and just leave them be if it's necessary. However, I prefer to take my time. So when I'm watering these beauties is when I will spend some time actually observing, noticing to see what's happening with my collection of plants. It's also a very, I would say, a great time. It's like almost some sort of meditation because I will immerse myself into their world. I will check the leaves to see if the leaves are plumpy enough, if they have any flower spikes that are emerging. Something else, it's when I have time to actually look among the leaves of my orchids, see if there is any grazing or if there is any sort of rot that's going on. I like to remove them from their pots sometimes, check the root system. So it is a time that I spend with my plants and actually properly observing them. Funnily enough, I read a book last week and that was about different subjects, but one of them was about our relationships with other beings that are not human beings, not only pets like animals, but also plants. When we have plants inside our home, it's a great way to teach us a lot about observing and creating a relationship with them, because when we pay attention, we actually will discover how to look after them in a better way. We can notice if they need some water, if the lights that we are offering are appropriate or not, because with time you start noticing how the new growths are growing, how the new leaves are coming, and it will only happen with experience, time, and actually observation. So when we actually take time to look to our plants, we learn a lot. So I hope you have some time during your week to spend with them as well. That's what I usually do. Something else is that I am quite lucky in the sense that I have a full-time job. YouTube's not my full-time job. It's actually, there's not any source of income. It's just, I've been doing that for a while now. But I do have a full-time job. So on my job, I can work from home 3 times a week. And I work on the screen all the time. And I'm quite lucky to be able to have some hybrid work model, which helps me a lot. But during these 3 days a week, because I am looking at the screen almost all the time, I need to rest my eyes a little bit. So that's the perfect opportunity for me to rest my eyes, is to leave my screen for a few minutes, come into this part of my living room and just look at my plants. It's perfect. It helps me to actually forget a little bit about work and to pay attention to something different. And it's like a great way to, again, to create this strong bond with nature as a whole, not only with ourselves. And I think plants, they help me with that as well. They bring this sense of having greens around, since I live in a big city. And when I'm looking at them, it's also a great opportunity for me to observe if I notice that something is very dehydrated, or if I have an extreme sort of grazing. All of these happen as well during the week, because from the moments that I just stare a little bit at them, I notice what changed. and it's great sometimes, just a positive thing as well. I notice new roots or new growths, and that happens during the week. And if I notice that something is very dehydrated, although I water them once a week, some plants might need a little bit more watering while I am at home, so I just go and give them some water as well. The only difference is that I have plants here in my living room. I have plants in one bathroom and plants in my bedroom as well. So the care routine is a little bit different because I stay with the ones in my bedroom a little bit less. These ones around me more often. So I look at them a little bit more often, but I think the other ones are like shielded as well. So usually they have less issues than these ones, which makes a huge difference. The ones in my bathroom, most of them are actually house plants, and I see them very often, but I just offer some water when I notice when they are limp or very dry. Something else, it's about repotting. When I repot, how I repot. So I don't repot all my plants in front of the camera. I do a lot of repotting for you guys, but not all of them. I do have lots of plants that I notice that needs to be repotted while I am watering my plants, for example. So I keep a mental note that I need to repot that plant, and I'll try to fit in my schedule. I'm late for most of the repotting. Some of them, they take longer to happen than what I would love to, but it's just like super busy life. So I tend to keep them in their place waiting, and I keep watering them, offering them all the care that they need. If they are very stressed, then I try to fit in during probably my week, especially in the evenings. That's when I finish everything. I finish work, so I can sit down here in the living room and just quickly repot some plants. That's what I do. And when it's something that's really nice, interesting, different from what probably I've showed you before, or if there is something that I've showed you a long time ago, then I try to repot in camera as well. But most of my reportings will happen quickly, here in the living room when I find time. And that's basically it, I think. I'm trying to imagine what else we have with our plants. I think part of my routine with my plants, the most stressful thing is actually two very stressful things. One, it's finding time to actually fight pests. They go and they multiply very quickly, and then even when I'm watering, if I decide to spray the plants, then would be a much longer day, and I keep procrastinating, letting go, waiting for a good moment is quite difficult. And something else is the fact that when I'm just looking after my plants, cleaning them, repotting them, watering them, it's always very messy because I have pieces of bark all around me here in the living room. So part of my orchid care routine is to find time as well to clean. So I know that when I get to my plant here, I will have pieces of barks on the floor, and I have carpet here. So yeah, which can be an issue. So I have to be very careful. And I think that's one of the biggest struggles, is to keep everything in place and kind of clean. I always joke that my plants are the cleanest, in my house, because I'm super careful with the bark and moss that I offer them. I clean all of their pots, and I try to maintain them as tidy as possible. But even so, it's always get a little bit messy. But that's part of the routine with plants. So that was everything that I want to talk to you today and tell you about how I do things around my house, especially having an indoor collection of plants. How is your routine? How do you look after your plants, your orchids? Let me know down below. I would love to hear. Do you have enough space? It gets messy sometimes as well. Yeah, let's share some experience around here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this type of content. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. And I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.